Look, as many of us believe, LeBron's a great overall human being, so he always knows what not to say and what to say at the right spots. Certain things LeBron will never say just because he has too much respect for the game of basketball. One thing he'll never admit, but I do know this, he's not the biggest fan of playing with Isaiah Thomas, all right? As the Cavs continue to struggle to figure this thing out, that's nothing that I didn't expect. Listen, you implement a guy like Isaiah Thomas who wants the ball in his hands and create plays that much, it's going to take time. I'm not talking about that. But I'm just telling you, LeBron James is not the biggest fan of playing with Isaiah Thomas. Here's 5 reasons why he shouldn't be the biggest fan of playing with Isaiah. Listen, number 1, Isaiah is banged up. He's working himself back with the hip injury, but a guy that's that size, not big enough to take a lot of these hits that he's taking night to night going to the rim. Isaiah's banged up, and I'm not sure if he'll ever be 100% the guy that we seen play at an MVP level for the Boston Celtics last season. LeBron's like, I've done this before. One of the reasons why LeBron was so happy to go back home to Cleveland was not just because he wanted to win one for the land, but it was also because Dwayne Wade was on his last legs. When LeBron made the decision, Dwayne Wade's body made it quite easy. To be honest with you, the San Antonio Spurs beating the Miami Heat in LeBron's last series with the team, Dwayne Wade didn't have it. He just didn't have it anymore, and it was clear that he was not going to be a guy that could be a valuable number 2 option on the team, and LeBron was like, let me get out of town. So he gets out of town, then he goes to Cleveland, back home where it all started, and in the first NBA Finals, LeBron looks up, and the guy that he decided to join the team with in Kevin Love, and the guy that he decided to join the team for in Kyrie Irving, who was already a Cleveland Cavalier, they're both injured. LeBron played the first NBA Finals, the bulk of it, without the services of his 2 best players, and LeBron's like, I don't want to do this again. Now, since then, Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love have both been able to sustain health at enough of an amount to keep them on the court until the ends of the previous 2 seasons. But let's make it clear, LeBron has dealt with injuries all his life, and it's not been his own injuries. The irony is LeBron has taken such great care of his body that he has to sit around and look at guys who have NBA Hall of Fame potential, and some of these guys who will be Hall of Famers, he has to sit around and look at them not put the same level of care into their bodies. So LeBron's like, I've already done this before with Dwayne Wade and a little bit of Kyrie Irving. Let's keep it moving to the number 4 reason why LeBron does not want to play with Isaiah Thomas. It's a contract year for Isaiah Thomas. Come on, y'all. Isaiah has never gotten paid. He's never been the highest paid player on the team. As a matter of fact, he's never made over $9 million in a season. Isaiah Thomas deserves to make max level money, especially in a market when Timothy Mozgov's making $54 million, Luol Deng's making $15-16 million a year, J.R. Smith's making $15-16 million a year. Isaiah Thomas has earned close to max money. He probably should get max money depending on the team that he ends up with. But when you're in a contract year, it's clear. You got to let it be known to a team that you can score the basketball, that you can be a guy that's going to lead a team or be close to the guy that leads the team. And Isaiah Thomas is going to have to make some plays to show teams that I could be at least the number 2 option on the team. And if I wasn't playing with LeBron James, I'd be a number 1 on any other team. So he's going to have to take a lot of shots, put up some stats, at least maybe, 19, 20 points a game. And that's not going to positively affect this Cleveland Cavalier team if you're LeBron James, when you're looking for just one more piece to come in and be a scorer when need be and let LeBron control the offense. At number 3, he's too short. I mentioned this earlier. Isaiah Thomas is just a small basketball player. They're giving him 5'11", 6 feet. He is not 5'11" or 6 feet. As a matter of fact, he's closer to 5'9", 5'10". Not a tall guy. Nevertheless, he hasn't been a tall guy his whole life, and he's made it work for himself. But if you're LeBron James and you're looking up, getting ready to go to the playoffs, and you're looking at Isaiah Thomas, and you're pretty much, no matter who you face in the Eastern Conference playoffs, whether it's Kyle Lowry, or whether it's Eric Bledsoe, or whether it's Kyrie Irving, or whether it's John Wall, you know you're going into any of these battles with a shorter point guard. And I know LeBron James is not too happy about that. Off pick and rolls, you really can't switch everything. There's no way you can switch and have Isaiah Thomas end up on a big like Marcin Gortat, on a big like Serge Ibaka, on a big like Al Horford. Any of the bigs in the Eastern Conference, and especially in the NBA Finals, you really can't switch it because Isaiah Thomas, just on height alone, he can't hold his own against some of the big guys. And heck, he probably won't be able to hold his own against some of the guards because of a strength thing. At number 2, he's not Kyrie Irving. Listen, we don't know what went on behind the scenes that went into Kyrie Irving demanding a trade out of Cleveland. We think we know some stuff. We believe it's because Kyrie Irving wanted to be his own guy. He said he wanted something new. He said he's ready to make a change, and he did make the change to go to the Boston Celtics, and now he is the star of his team, and it looks like he's well equipped to be the guy on that team. LeBron James wants Kyrie Irving over Isaiah Thomas. We're strictly talking basketball. Kyrie Irving is clearly a better player than Isaiah Thomas. I think it's a clear thing. Kyrie Irving is a clutch guy. Not saying Isaiah Thomas is not clutch, because he does make a lot of fourth quarter baskets. But with the ball in the hand with 5 seconds to go, I want Kyrie Irving. He's an assassin. He's a killer. Other guards envy playing him because they know it's going to be a tough night. Don't get me wrong. Isaiah can light up anyone, but not like how Kyrie can. He can beat you off the dribble. He can score the 3. He can get in the post with another guard on him, and he can post you up. His handle is like no other. When you're playing Kyrie Irving, you know there's no night off. When you got Isaiah Thomas, you believe there's not a night off. Simple as that. And the number one reason why LeBron James does not want Isaiah Thomas playing with him on that Cleveland Cavaliers team, and we know what LeBron James is all about at this point in his career, championships, is because he doesn't scare the Golden State Warriors. If you're the Golden State Warriors and you know Cleveland Cavaliers are going to come out of the Eastern Conference, or we believe that, think about what you had to deal with last year. If Kyrie Irving has went on to play with the Boston Celtics and be a number 1 guy, you got to believe Kyrie Irving is either A, the best point guard in the league, or maybe top 2, top 3. That would put him at least in the top 10 of players in the league. If Kyrie Irving is a top 10 player, and we know LeBron James is probably the best player in the world, and if you're the Warriors, and you know you had to deal with that last year, no matter what, no matter how good Isaiah is, he's not top 10. So if you're the Warriors, you look up and you're like, okay, now we're only having to battle and deal with one top 10 guy. We got another really good guy, but he's not top 10 talent. If you're the Warriors, you look up and you're like, if I'm Steph Curry, I don't like playing Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving has probably gotten the better of me in the finals the last couple years, and I don't like playing it. Now I look up, and if you're Steph, he might not even have to go defend J.R. Smith now. The best matchup for Steph Curry might just be to keep him home at that point guard position and keep him on Isaiah Thomas. Now, with that being the case, Klay's going to have room to get off. Remember, in the last 3 NBA Finals, the Warriors have put Steph for the bulk of the time on J.R. Smith to allow Klay the responsibility of Kyrie Irving. Now, if Steph is able to stay home and guard Isaiah Thomas straight up, and Klay's able to take the night off with J.R. Smith, who becomes a spot-up shooter in the NBA Finals for some reason, now Klay's going to have baskets and buckets at will. And he's going to take advantage of J.R. Smith, and he's going to be able to have more energy offensively if he's guarding J.R. Smith. Kevin Durant, Draymond Green, they're looking up like, yo, if Isaiah Thomas switches on me, I'm good to go. I'm going straight to the rim. Or heck, I'm rising and shooting that jumper, and especially if you're Kevin Durant, there's nothing Isaiah Thomas can do about it. Heck, it's barely anything anyone else can do about it, but at least when you got Kyrie, you got a guy who's 6'3", 6'4", who can at least get a contest up and maybe do something about it. If you're the Golden State Warriors, and you look at it, you had to deal with Kyrie Irving and LeBron James last year, and you wake up and you realize now you just got to deal with LeBron, then maybe Kevin Love, then Isaiah, you're clapping right now. You're praising for joy. It's not the same. And if I'm LeBron James, I'm very concerned. Even if the Cavs figure this thing out and get rolling down the stretch, which a lot of us believe will happen, it's just not the same. It ain't Kyrie, and you got to put these Cavs a step backwards in their race to get another championship for the land, because Isaiah Thomas is just not what LeBron James would prefer to play with. On the next episode of my sports series with the Pharaohs. All right, let's go 5 surprise players from the first half of the season. I know we still have a few more weeks left before we reach All-Star break, but we're more than halfway through the season thus far. I got 5 guys that have surprised me and given me a little bit more production this year than I thought they would. At number 5, let's go Goran Dragic. The Miami Heat are number 4 in the Eastern Conference as I make this video, and they're trending upwards with the Cavs